Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Choosing Beggars. Story 1. I'm done being charitable. I used to give change to panhandlers until I had one get mad at how little I gave him. It was all the change I had in my car at the time, and demanded more. Also, I never deal with cash anymore cause I only use my debit card. The one charitable thing I didn't mind doing anymore was saving cans. There are a couple different guys that come through my neighborhood looking through trash bins for bottles and cans to return for the deposit. I never bother taking them in myself, but it was no big deal for me to throw my empties in a bag on my porch. One of these guys I see maybe once every couple weeks. I'll be out on my porch in the morning smoking a cigarette, he'll come through, and I give him the bag of cans. Most of the time there isn't a whole lot in there, because I'm the only one that really drinks pop in my house. He always seems happy with it, thanks me, and carries on his way. This time, there was a lot more cans because we recently had a couple graduation parties and barbecues, so I actually had a full bag. I hand him the bag and he says, "Wow, thanks. One worth my trip." Kind of weird, but whatever, I tell him you're welcome, have a good day. He starts to walk away, then turns back and asks if I can spare a $20. I tell him no, sorry. I don't ever deal with cash anymore, everything has gone digital these days. He leaves and I go inside. About 10 minutes later, I see him through my living room window, standing on my porch, looking through my stuff. All I have on my porch is some gardening stuff, nothing worth stealing. I come out and ask what he's doing and he has my pack of cigarettes in his hand that I left out there. He says, "Well, you think these cans are really helping me much? You know how many cans I have to collect just to get a pack of cigarettes?" I'm fuming and tell him to leave before I call the cops. So yeah, I'm just done being charitable to anyone. I know that you can't get a lot of money from returning cans, but it's also not my problem or my responsibility to make sure these people have money to make it through. So from now on, I'm either throwing those bitches into the bottom of my trash bin or I'm gonna save them for myself to return. Story 2. No pizza for choosing beggars. This is a story from my 10yo. His friend group has a habit of buying snacks in the nearby store, and once I pointed out to him that they could pool their money and get something better, like a pizza. It just never occurred to a bunch of 10yos that they can buy something other than pre-packaged snacks. My son was very keen on the idea of having a little picnic with pizza and some soft drinks, to the point that he was willing to buy everything on his own and share with friends. He suggested that, the friends are happy, they go to the store to get their pizza, it's made right there and is more affordable than franchise places. There are several options, and my son has only one preference: no sliced tomatoes. Two kids from the group insist they will only have pizza with sliced tomatoes on it, or else they're out. There's a big discussion with drama and emotional blackmail. They end up buying nothing at all. It didn't even occur to the rest of the boys to leave the CBS out. They did get together the next day and got their pizza. My son paid for it, and other boys offered to pay for soft drinks. The word is, the CBS are still pouting about not being invited. Story 3. I tried to help an old lady and regretted it. A few years ago when I was in college, I was walking down the street toward campus and passed an elderly woman outside an Aldi. She had several bags and was obviously struggling to carry them, so I asked her if she had a long way to go and if she needed help carrying her bags to the bus stop, which is where I assumed she was going. It was a lot of groceries and the bus stop was at the end of the street, maybe 15 to 20 feet away. She said her apartment was just around the corner, and handed me all the bags, I think 7 or 8 total. Turns out just around the corner meant like 5 city blocks in the opposite direction of where I was going, but I just went with it and figured at least I was doing something nice for someone else. Finally, when we got to her building, I put the bags on the sidewalk in front of the gate and basically said I was late to class and needed to go, and that I was glad I could help her out. She then grabbed my arm and asked if I could spare some money since times were tough, and when I said I was sorry, but didn't have any cash on me, She told me I should really carry the bags into her apartment because it was the least I could do after not helping out by giving her money. She lived on the third floor of a walk-up and was getting visibly irritated that I put the groceries down and wasn't picking them back up to haul them upstairs. I'm a pretty docile person, so I didn't know what to do and basically apologized to her and said I would fail my class if I missed it and ran away. I still think about that when I see old ladies with groceries bags. TL/DR, I tried to help an old lady carry her groceries and she got upset when I didn't pay her for the privilege of helping her out. Story 4. Should this be on here, or Ida bridesmaid thought I would pay for her to have her own room with her boyfriend, or did I interpret it wrong? Story 5. Can't afford rent but could afford tattoos 4 days before she posted to IG asking for money. Story 6. Tries to use death of family member to get a cheaper deal even after originally agreeing upon a price. Originally had listed at $800 and agreed to $500, but they changed their mind going for something cheaper, only to come back and ask for a cheaper price saying they need them to attend a family member's memorial service. Story 7. Choosing Beggar thinks my free for all giveaway means I'll give him the shiny Pokemon I've been hunting for 10 plus hours, then decides he instead wants another rare Pokemon I've already said wasn't available. Okay, so this might be a bit confusing for people who don't play Pokemon, so I'll try to keep the technical parts simple, but they're all important to understanding what happened. The TLDR for people who do play, is that I like to shiny hunt and really wanted a shiny Fennekin for my dream team. In the latest Pokemon games, there have been special events where you can fight rare Pokemon that normally can't be found in the game, and if you defeat it then you can catch it. These Pokemon have the highest stats possible, and come with a special mark. While these special event Pokemon are set to never be shiny, which is a rare alternate color palette that does nothing but sparkle when you send it out, a lot of people like to breed them for the off chance of getting a shiny. Using special items, you can pass down the stats, and by taking extra steps you can increase their odds of being shiny from 1/4096 to only 1/512. I know, to non-Pokemon players this might sound crazy for just some alternately colored pixels, but it's something that I and many other players love to do. There are people who will hack the game for easy shinies, but most players agree that it's pretty cheap and unethical. So lately Pokemon has featured 2 of the fully evolved starters from my favorite generation of Pokemon in the event mentioned above. Greninja, which is by far the most popular, and Delphox, which is my personal favorite. I decided I wanted to do a special run of the game where you shiny hunt your 6 favorite Pokemon and then play through the game with them. The event is pretty tough, so I just opted to bring in Delphox's pre-evolution, Fennekin in from a previous game, and just breed that. I ended up selectively breeding it so that it would have perfect stats like the event Delphox, and thought it would be fun to give away the non-shinies for people who also didn't want to do the event, and just wanted a shiny or competitive Fennekin of their own. So, I decided to stream my hunt and announced that I was giving away the Fennekins with the top stats while I hunted for the shiny. The stream was going great, with people being way more grateful than I was expecting for the little baby foxes. But, we wouldn't be here if that was the case for everyone. At this point, I'd already hatched over 1,000 eggs trying to find the yellow fox turned grey, when CB joined in the chat. I did my usual greeting, and let them know how the giveaway was working. If he wanted some of the competitive Fennekins I'd found during the hunt, he just needed to ask and I would trade him some. He could choose the gender, and could even have one of each if he wanted to breed for a shiny himself. CB, isn't that a waste? Me, not really. I've already got several boxes of the competitive Fennekins from this hunt, so I've got plenty to give away. CB, how do you know if the eggs are shiny? Me, assuming he's just not familiar with shiny hunting, well, you just hatch them. I'm breeding for another file, so I save often, and if I find the shiny then I just reset and send the egg to the right file. CB, can I have an egg? Me, thinking he just wants the game to recognize it as his own, which is what I was doing too, I suppose. Do you want me to find you one with competitive stats first? CB, no, I just want the egg. Me, okay. I just saved before these 3 hatched, so let me just reset and give you one. CB, why? Me, so you can have them as eggs, like you asked. I reset my game, making a mental note of where the non-shiny eggs were, and tell him the code I've been using for trades. I load the game back up, put the code in myself, and start searching for the trade. I wait a minute, and no trade partner can be found. No problem, he probably just wasn't ready cause of the stream lag. I try again, and still nothing. I talk to CB in the chat for a bit, trying to confirm that he's connecting to the internet first, and eventually he just stops responding. He'd been kind of weird, and I definitely had that thought in the back of my mind that he was hoping I would just send him a random egg that would end up being shiny for him, but I don't like making assumptions and didn't want to accuse him on stream. He stopped responding anyway, so I figured he just gave up and left. Of course, if it ended there, we still wouldn't have much of a choosing beggar story, now would we? So, I continue my hunt for another half hour, and he finally comes back as I'm trying to give another person some baby fenneckins. CB, why isn't it working? Me, oh, welcome back CB. We can try again since you're back. Please make sure that you're online, using the right code. Do you have a Nintendo Online account? You can't trade online if you don't. CB, yeah, of course I do. Me, still sensing something's off, but trying to be polite, okay, let me just save real quick and check this egg, and if it's not shiny then you can have it. CB, WHHHHYYYYYYY? Yes, he used that many characters. Me, starts thinking about this sub, because the whole point of this stream is for me to find a shiny female Fennekin for my dream team run, and I don't want to accidentally trade away the shiny I've been hunting for 10 hours. I won't be giving away shinies unless I find more than 2 males first, since I would keep those for my living decks. He then continues to whine, and I explain again that the giveaway was only for the non-shiny Fennekin with full competitive stats that I'd found during the hunt. That I was going to surprise trade them away anyway after the hunt, but that I wanted to give people in the chat priority for keeping me company during the hunt. I then make the mistake of going through my boxes of Pokémon that weren't a part of the hunt. Me, if you really want a shiny, I do have some extra Vivillon I was planning to give out in a different giveaway. CB, I want that GRE Ninja. Me, you mean my Greninja? Sorry, but Greninja is not available for giveaway. This is my event Greninja, and I haven't had the chance to breed it yet. CB, but I want it. It's not fair that you get to keep it. Me, finally getting more stern, like I said, Greninja is not a part of the giveaway. The giveaway is for the non-shiny Fennekin with competitive stats, and if you keep begging for Pokémon that aren't a part of the giveaway, I will put you on a timeout. CB, I just want the Geninja. Give me the Greninja. Me, sorry, but no, and I already warned you what would happen if you kept being a choosing beggar. I then put him on the timeout, and I guess he left after that, because I didn't hear from him again afterwards. Everyone else was so glad to receive the Fennekins, and it was otherwise a really fun stream. Some people though. Oh, and if you're curious, I never did find the shiny. 1393 encounters in, but still no luck. Longest hunt ever, SMH. Edit, seen a lot of people asking in the. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.